Hi, and welcome back to my channel. And today I want to talk about bad service from big businesses. Have you ever walked into a large retail outlet, a motor dealership, a mobile cell phone provider, or even a bank, and received bad service? Now, the problem is that a lot of us have now gotten into the mindset where when we have bad service, we run to social media, which I suppose is normal because a lot of the big businesses have become almost impersonal. There are, more often than not, no managers available, and you only have a very limited number of support staff or retail staff or whatever staff available that you can talk to. And maybe a supervisor who sometimes may be as little interested in the problem or trying to assist as the person you are speaking to. The problem here is now you go to social media and you post your big problem there, and some representative from the company, if you are lucky, might get back to you to try and solve your problem. More often than not, they will refer you back to a manager of the regional office, a regional manager of an area, servicing many shops, stores, or outlets. And this becomes a problem of they make it your responsibility to run around and go see these various people to try and solve your problem. The problem is not the customer. Not always. There are isolated incidents where the problem may actually be with the customer. But the problem is the customer brings a problem to you as a company which they want solved. This video is not for customers, not people complaining about bad service. My problem is with big businesses and how these problems get handled. Now, I'm talking specifically about businesses and a tendency which has been a norm that has been developing in South Africa. This may actually be true in other parts of the world. So if you have upper echelon contact in a big corporate, listen up. Big corporates have forgotten that those people, the support staff, those immediate customer-facing people, are in fact some of the most important people in any business. And they can actually sink your business. It works like this. People in general, the way the world has changed, do not see an individual when they walk into a shop, a big retail shop, and present a problem to an individual, salesperson, support staff, whoever. They see that person as a representative of the company, the entire corporate as a whole. They don't care what that person's name is. Yes, often they will talk and give Mary, John, whoever, but it's not about that person they are talking to. They are talking to a person who represents the entire company. And if something goes wrong or they are not happy with how a problem is resolved, not resolved, whatever, they blame the company, not the individual. And now when the companies come and they tell customers that, you know what, we are sorry, but it is that person, and we are sorry that that person did not treat you well, did not resolve your problem well, we will speak to that individual. You cannot isolate an individual working for a company as a source of problem because of poor training or poor attitude, whatever. You cannot now suddenly want to isolate the problem down to an individual. You have a problem and the company has to accept the problem as a company problem, not as an individual problem. It is not the support staff's problem. It is a company problem. And this association is no longer being made by big businesses. They no longer want to accept problems as company-wide big problem. No matter how small the problem is, it's a company problem. It's not that support staff's problem. To be honest, that support person can be completely taken out of the loop. You can fire that person. Guess what? The problem does not go away. Because if the way the companies think, oh, it's that staff's problem, fire the staff, problem resolved. No, problem does not go away. Companies have to realize that these staff that they're employing that are now customer facing need to be very well trained. Not only as salespeople, but as staff who can communicate with their customers. They need to be regularly monitored, and problems need to be carefully handled from a company perspective. Take ownership. They need to be taught how to take ownership of the problem and shift it up the line if needed. It's no longer being done in many cases. And I can recall a number of incidents that I've had with big corporate companies where I've reported a problem, and then I get a case number opened, I get given the case reference number, then nothing happens for a few days, and I call back, and then they say, oh, here's a new case reference number. And I said, but I already have one. Oh, yes, we're sorry, nobody got back to you, we'll link it to that one. 4 or 5 calls later, I already have 5 numbers, but they're all linked to the original problem. The problem never gets resolved. Then I ask, escalate it. And they say there's no way to escalate. I said, well, isn't there a supervisor? They say, yes, there is a supervisor, but he's only there to assist them. I said, but I want to be assisted. How are you going to solve those problems if it cannot be escalated to someone who's in the know or has the authority to find and provide a solution? Resolve problems. A clear escalation process should be presented to customers, stating, sir, if I am unable to resolve your problem, these are your next steps. And companies need to start employing this method to customers to show them that you actually care. Otherwise, customers start feeling like a number. And believe you me, big corporates have no idea how much they are actually losing through bad service or through poor customer contact. Automation systems, the automated telephone systems, I'm telling you, your customers hate it. Let them speak to a person first. A switchboard. Even if they have to set up multiple switchboards with people that they can talk to, the person says, I'm not going to be able to assist you. I'm your contact person. Who do you explain your problem to me? And I'm going to direct you to a person who knows what your problem is about and can resolve it. If you force customers to go around pressing numbers, getting ever granular, and they eventually get to someone who says, oh, sorry, you've actually gotten through to the wrong department. You need to speak to okay, can you put me through? No, you'll have to call again, and then you push option 7, and then option 2, and then option 3. No, that is not how you are going to solve problems. And big corporates should start caring about the 1 or 2 problems caused in a month where they lose a customer. Because unfortunately, corporates have started looking at, we have thousands of people. 1 or 2 losing in a month, losing 1 or 2 customers in a month is not a problem for us. Be very careful. That is not the way customers should be treated. So yes, this is a message to corporates, and I hope 1 or 2 can actually see it, or that someone in the customer service industry sees this, takes note, and perhaps takes it further. Anyway, that's my rant for the day. See you in the next video.